Welcome back to Suns Valley Podcast, where your Phoenix Suns are now sitting at 30-19, hovering anywhere from the 5 to 7 seed, fighting with the Rockets and Lakers for position. But something's happening, Sundo. Something incredible is happening lately. Devin Booker was playing incredible basketball, starting to hit his threes, for instance. I believe he was actually having a very efficient game when he went down from three. He goes down in the same game that Jalen Green does, and there was a moment there where Suns fans kind of started to panic a little bit.
This game just got what?
Understandably. The injuries cost the Suns a game in Atlanta. The next game, it seemed like, well, maybe they can't win without Book and Jalen Green versus the Heat, but then they just figured it out, man, and they figured it out something good. They're playing incredible defense. They're hitting a crazy amount of their shots. 48% from three last night versus the Cavs. They had back-to-back games versus the number 1 and the number 4 team in the East and smoked them both. Now, a 13-point lead doesn't look anywhere near what the beatdown really was last night versus the Cavs. If you remember, if you were watching the game, when the Suns put their reserves in, their reserves did not handle it well, and they gave away a lot of points. But Sunday, we had this team pegged as just safe from being a play-in team. Now we've moved up where we are feeling comfortable like, hey, we think we should be the 5 seed, bare minimum. But are you like me? Do you think that we actually really deserve the 4 or dare I say 3 seed after beating these top-tier East teams by a mile?
Yeah, I think I'm going to change my tone from the last video that we did talking about this. This team really surprised me the last few games, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Dylan Brooks, scoring 40 against Detroit was a big eye-opener. And not only that, just seeing the rest of the team really come into their own, find their roles with Jalen Green and Booker gone, it was really, really great to see. And so when you see the way this team plays without those two, the way they all come together, the way they play defense. Grey Goose has been stepping up. Grayson Allen, the way Gillespie's been playing, the way Jordan Goodwin, good Lord, the way Jordan Goodwin's been playing as far as playing defense and hitting shots. Like when you start to see that, you can't help but think, okay, when we get Booker and Green back at full strength, the depth of this team can go toe to toe with anybody in the West. Anybody in the West. And so as you start to see the vision, yeah, I can't help but think maybe we do blow past the Rockets in the standings. Maybe we do get to that 3 seed. And the great part about this whole conversation is we're going to see it in February, March, and April. We're going to get those teams back. We're going to get to see some of those games and see how they match up. I can't help but think what it'll be like adding that firepower to a crafty team that plays defense very well. Like I just can't imagine it. And so, yeah, I think I'll eat my words from the last video. I said 5, 6 seed, but shoot, sky's the limit for us. Now, we will match up a little differently versus these top 4 teams in the West, as I mentioned in our live stream. Like we do tend to play a smaller lineup. We only have one big man out at a time, and that's Mark Willer Oso. And so I think those matchups with those teams will be difficult for sure, but I still think we compete.
Hearing you mention when the guys come back, just given me flashbacks from last year a little bit, to be honest. And the year before, right? Like, when Beal gets back, when KD gets back, when Book gets back, we add him back to KD and what him and Beal are doing together. And just constantly, like, that was the hope. That was the need. We were always waiting because we knew that that's the only way we were going to get where we wanted to be. I'm not trying to continually one-up you with optimism. I genuinely feel this way. I don't even know if this team has to get to fully 100% strength. I think this team with just one of Book or Jalen, because I believe so heavily in our 6 guards that we are all in love with, I think this team just has what it takes that they can get to where we want to be with one of them injured, whichever one it is at any given time. But I think I'm to the point where I don't even know that we need to be 100% to achieve what we want to achieve. I just haven't decided what it is that I'm supposed to expect the Suns to achieve yet, if that makes sense.
Hey, I'm glad you got that optimism, right? I will have to just disagree, honestly, because we've seen what the team has looked like against those teams without being at full strength. And so I think it's going to take full everybody. I really do. So I know you're optimistic because, like you said, the team's looking good, and you don't want to go that route like we did the last few years, where we're like, wait till we get Beal back. I do think there's a very big difference between that team and this team, and that is the depth on this team is insane guard wise, as you mentioned. Even then, I think you need to be full strength. Honestly, I really think you have to be, just because we've already seen what this team will look like. Having Green and Booker on the floor at the same time does wonders for this team, especially when it comes to spacing. And that's something you need. That's something you're going to need when you're going to play teams like we are going to play, who are going to be physical, lengthier. You spread the court, you spread the floor, it makes it easier for good things to happen. And so, yeah, I think it's going to take everybody. I don't want to like pour cold water on your optimism, but I just think that's just the facts and the matchups that we're looking at.
Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Where do you expect this Suns team to end up seeding-wise by the end of the regular season?